Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with another episode of Speaking My Mind. How you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. It's Monday morning, about coming up to 10:30 or something like that. Really should have gone out a bit earlier, but other things got in the way. So what can you do? Sometimes, hopefully tomorrow, I can get an earlier walk in. And my battery's quite low on this phone, so hopefully I'll be able to get this recording done before my phone dies. So what do I want to talk about today? So I want to talk about identity, because obviously Robert Jenrick, who is the conservative, one of the conservative candidates, albeit by the time you guys see this, he might not be a candidate for the Conservative leadership contest. In fact, he might even get kicked to the curb. But I guess time will tell whether or not on that. But let us talk about identity. What is identity? Identity is basically of who you are. What do you identify yourself as? You know, your cat will identify itself as a cat that walks on its paws and does a little mess sometimes in your house, and it gets you very, very upset and angry. A dog identifies itself as a dog. It barks, it makes a lot of noise, it makes a lot of mess, and you have to take it to walks. It identifies as a dog. It's not very hard to identify something as an identity, really, if you think about it. And then you talk about certain nations. Like, what would you consider American identity? Well, I would consider it, when I think of America and I think about its identity, I think about patriotism, freedom of speech, guns, the Grand Canyon, you know, some of the special, it's a very special place. Some of the wonderful people that live there. And I generally mean that, even though some people may not like it because there's a lot of Trump supporters. Don't agree to disagree with that. I think there's some wonderful Americans, the kind of people that they are, sharing what they consider American values, and they're patriotic about that. I'll give you another one. What is Scottish identity? You know, when I think of Scotland, I think of kilts, I think of their beautiful accents, I think of the Loch Ness Monster, I think of the Highlands. So those are just a couple of things that I think about Scottish values. And then there's something that Robert Jenrick can't describe, and that is English values. See, that's something he cannot understand, he cannot identify. He was asked, what is English values? He was going on about wokeness and not understanding what is English values. Well, I'm going to give you guys straight off the bat here some English values. Bangers and mash, fish and chips. That's just foods, obviously. The monarchy is something that is English. St. George's Day. Multiculturalism. I consider the multiculturalism to be an English identity thing. I generally do. Some people will vehemently disagree and say, no, multiculturalism is destroying England. But no, I consider it a part of English identity. Some people will disagree with that. And what do I identify myself as, I suppose? I identify myself as a white, male, middle-aged man who is English, British, part Welsh, part Irish. Identify myself as a YouTuber, content creator. Identify myself as a wrestling fan as well. There you go, I've just given you a bunch of things that I identify myself as. Again, it's not hard to come up with what the term identity is, but it seems that Robert Jenrick is incapable of understanding the complexities of the word identity. It's really not that hard to understand it, but I'm sure you yourself, while watching this, you understand what identity is, you understand who you are. I could give you an example. There are some people in my chats who are normally on the live streams and premiere videos. One of them is a moderator who identifies himself as Portuguese and knows a lot about Portuguese politics. We have one that identifies himself from New Zealand and from a wonderful country. We have people who identify themselves as American or German. There's even others who identify themselves as also English, or some who maybe not be from London, or identify myself as a Londoner because I live in and around outskirts of London, I would say. But some identify themselves as from the north of London, for example. North of London or even beyond that. So it's really not that hard to gauge what identity is. It's really, really not. So, what do you consider identity to be? I don't think I need to speak more on this, but if you can identify yourself, tell me in the comments down below. What do you guys identify yourself as? Do you understand the term identity? Do you defy the word identity? Without Googling it, by the way, as well. See if you can do it without Googling, which I know some of you will probably do just to give me the full terminology of it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about identity down in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and all that stuff. And I hope to catch you all very, very soon.